Um, Number one problem is listening skills. Yeah, listening. Listening was my biggest problem. Um, I really need to work on that. That was my biggest problem, I believe. First, number one is definitely listening. Two is Hanzo. Okay, so they're challenges for me. Yeah, they are the biggest challenges for me. You actually made me think a bit more about some strategies regarding what I need to do with my listening. I like your suggestion with regards to, I mentioned about the sentences I do every morning. And I do them first thing in the morning. I get out of bed, get a coffee, I come into here and I start doing my sentences. I've actually started today with your suggestion of English pinyin characters, Hanzi. And I can see the benefit with that. I think it was a great suggestion, practicing it. And even though I was asking some questions around it earlier in our session today, about the value, probably more than anything else about it. Yeah, in today's technological lifestyle we have, the various strategies you've outlined, regarding listening, that type of thing. The various things that need to be applied with regards to learning the language. You mentioned that. Get yourself out there and learn 1,000 common characters, and that will give you the opportunity to be able to do more with the language in regards to fluency and also reading, which is something I like to do, that's for sure. Yeah, get to the stage where I can actually read a simple, when I say that in inverted commas, simple, simple book, that you could read, nothing complicated with the language, like something, like a technology-based type paper or book. But I also liked, for instance, your reference to, the part of the learning process too, is that apply it to things that you like, understand, and also in a work, say for instance in a workplace context, apply it to the language used there. Research the terms in Chinese, that type of thing. I like that. That was good. We haven't talked about textbook at this stage either, so it's quite interesting. A lot of people, a lot of classes you see online, that type of thing, they're very much based on, even though you did touch on it about being HSK3, and getting to a certain level of fluencies, but you haven't talked about it that much. So that's one difference I can see between yourself and others. Even though my Wednesday night class, which starts again next week too, by the way, they don't talk about HSK. They're going through a textbook, so chapter, which you mentioned you don't do so much. It's a different approach, because I've got as mentioned from day one, I've got a very open mind about how this would work. Looking for something a little bit different. If what you've got to offer is more effective, I think is what I'm sort of looking at. But the difference is there's probably more. It's not so much the following the textbook HSK type of line, I suppose. Yeah, you seem to be a bit different that way. The thing is that it would be someone who is a bit like me. They'd have to be like me. That is open-minded and willing to look beyond formal courses and textbooks. Okay, so they need to be that type of person, I believe. Someone who's willing to looking for something more tailor-made, I suppose, is one way to describe it. Just try it. If someone can dedicate an hour, for 5 days straight, certainly I would suggest they try it, and just go in there with an open mind with it. Yeah.